we're still at the Liquidware Labs stand, and I'm joined by Pierre. Pierre is going to show us some highlights of Profile Unity's popular features. Hi Pierre, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you Eric. Pleasure to have you here.
So first, before we start, what does Profile Unity do?
Profile Unity is a user environment management tool, and it helps really to help the end user to have their profile anytime, anywhere, with any platform, and whenever they need to get or to keep their information, to give persistency in the non-persistent world. So really to simplify the life of the end user, but also in terms of management to the administrator. That's the purpose of Profile Unity.
So in the past, when a user was logging onto Windows, he got a roaming profile, and then he jumped to another laptop or other computer, and that roaming profile was corrupted or incompatible with the other operating system, and you're overcoming that problem and putting the settings into a different layer.
That's exactly what we are doing. We are providing the possibility to the user to move from one physical machine to one VDI machine, for example, persistent, non-persistent, starting from a Windows 7 going to Windows 10, Windows 2012 or Windows 2016, and still having the same profile available. So that's the persistency we have in Profile Unity.
So in a profile, normally there are a lot of registry settings and some configuration files, and so you're taking all these settings and you're putting them into those different environments.
That's what we do. Usually the main issue when you have corrupted profile is because at the end of your session you've been working, and so you saved all your documents, but you don't have space enough, for example.
Can you show me something?
So here what we definitely have is Profile Unity. What we call profile for us is more the portability settings, register keys as you said, and what you usually do with roaming profile is folder redirection for your desktop, your My Document and so on. And so we are having folder redirection here, and you can decide to provide the possibility to the end user to have just desktop, document, My Pictures, or just desktop and documents. You can provide also the possibility to the end user to save the changes he will do in his profile, in his taskbar, pinned items and all these. So and that's managed by the portability settings. And then this is just profile we're talking, but then there's all the rest. So we have application management with privilege elevation, application restriction, or flex up department install application. So you can decide what would be your application strategy, which is also part of Profile Unity. So it's not only profile, but it's definitely user environment management. If you're already having a tool to manage, for example, profiles, or you want to keep on working with your GPOs and the roaming profile, but you're definitely interested in other parts of the product, you can use, as said, as much or as little of Profile Unity.
So just take a subset of those things and then add them to your existing solution.
Exactly. And everything is available in one tool in here. You don't need to have more stack or buy any more products.
So it's a single pane of glass, one management interface for everything.
Exactly. These are the right words. I don't get them, but that's right.
So one thing you didn't mention was printers. Location-based printing, I assume it's also part of?
Yes, it's also part of it. It's always the question we have. So we have definitely printers, we have drive mapping, we have triggers. The trigger points are also very interesting because depending on what's the location you're in, you want to move from another place. And again, you don't want to have the printers downstairs when you're up at the 5th level. So
is it also for application? So if I'm a doctor and I'm outside the hospital, I'm not able to get the records from the patients, for instance?
Yeah, well, as long as you're connected to your file server, to the company, you can get all the files in your environment. Depending on the application you're starting, we can decide that you will have access to a specific file share, or you will not have access to a specific file share. So with those triggers, with this tool, you can definitely manage the full user environment. That is what we do, and any environment. Windows OS, but any platform. So starting from XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows servers. So that's what we do with Profile.
Okay, that looks great, Pierre. Many thanks for the demo, and have a great VMworld.
VMworld, it's perfect for me. I like it. Barcelona, so it's very cool. Thank you, VMware.
Back to you. Thank you.